Well, police released new information about the gunman in Monday's school shooting in South St. Louis. A 15-year-old sophomore was shot and killed along with a 61-year-old teacher. 7 others were wounded. Fox 2's Laura Simon is live outside of CentralVPA High School, where a tribute to the victims is growing. Laura?
Blair, good morning, everybody. This beautiful tribute behind me represents a lot of pain and heartache as people are continuing to process this horrible tragedy that happened here at the high school at the corner of Kings Highway and Arsenal earlier this week. As people remember the victims, the survivors are trying to figure out, where do we go from here? Let's take a closer look at the 2 victims we're remembering this morning. 15-year-old sophomore Alexandria Bell loved to dance, her principal describing her as bright and charismatic, beautiful inside and out. 61-year-old Jean Kuska was a dedicated teacher, passionate about her students. She taught health, PE, and personal finance, and worked at Central Visual and Performing Arts since 2008. She was a wife, a mom, and a grandmother. Meantime, we are learning more about the shooter this morning. 19-year-old Orlando Harris. He was a former student here at the high school. Police releasing photos of the AR-15 style rifle they say Harris carried with him. Interim Police Chief Michael Sachs says the shooter forced his way into the building. He had around 600 rounds of ammo. He also left behind a handwritten note saying, "I don't have any friends. I don't have any family. I've never had a girlfriend. I've never had a social life. I've been an isolated loner my entire life. This was the perfect storm for a mass shooting." Such a chilling note we are learning about. Really tough to process. It still gives you goosebumps hearing those words, what was in the shooter's mind. But as people continue to process this horrible tragedy, school here is closed the rest of the week. Students are also off school the rest of the week, trying to process this emotional and physical trauma. It's unclear when students will be back inside this building. It could be a matter of weeks, maybe even months, but we do know that students will begin learning virtually on Monday. Reporting live in South St. Louis this morning, I'm Laura Simon, Fox 2 News.
So look, man, I really didn't want to do a reaction video on this, you know what I'm saying? But due to me being a former CentralVPA student, I went to CentralVPA around 09, 2010. You know, that was like 14 years ago. I actually knew Miss Kuska. She wasn't a PE teacher around the time. It was a male. I forgot his name, but she was our finance teacher, like our health, like, personal finance teacher and stuff like that. And yes, they did teach personal finance in high school. We just, around that time, we just wasn't paying attention because we was kids, bad, all type of stuff like that. So yeah, I actually knew Miss Kuska. She was a beautiful soul. She was she was a great woman. She just wanted best for her students, and she was a great teacher. I went to CentralVPA around 09, 2010, my freshman year and my sophomore year. I left my sophomore year. My experience at CentralVPA, Central Visual Performing Arts High School, was to me, it was good and bad because, I was just entering high school from middle school. So, different levels, you know what I'm saying? But around the time I was going, I'm not going to lie, it was rough. It was bad around the time I was going, but nothing ever happened like this. You know what I'm saying? Nothing ever happened like this. Never thought that it would happen like this. You feel what I'm saying? I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Okay? I'd have been up and down Kings Highway and Arsenal. I'm from that area. I'm from the South Side. Across the street used to be a Walgreens. It's not a Walgreens no more. They got a Snooks right up the street from that way. So we used to be all in that area, man. And like I said, around that time, it was bad. When I was going, it was bad due to street violence and gang activities of, young teenagers being in gangs at a young age and then going to that school, But like I said, it never happened like this. You know what I'm saying? Never thought that this would happen. Yeah, it was a lot of bad stuff going on back then when I was going. But, kids sneaking, guns in school, smoking weed in school, just being teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Don't mean it's okay, but that's just what was happening around the time I was going. So I never would have thought that it would have happened like this, and I'm going to be honest. it was so much bad shit going on at Central VPA that it wasn't a lot of bad shit going on. Just some of the kids was bad. You know, they was in gangs and shit. They was really like that. They was really in the streets. Some school don't teach you about the streets. So it was, you know, young teenagers that went there that was really in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? That couldn't go to school without bringing a gun with them because, you know, they ops, or, you know, getting on a school bus, or having to stand outside and wait for the school bus in the morning without your ops pulling up on you. So, you know, a lot of students that was involved in gang activities brought, you know, firearms to school due to them protecting themselves, you know, from ops. But never thought that this was gonna happen. And if this would have happened around the time that I was in school, them YNs wasn't playing. Them YNs would have got on him in school. That's how bad it was in school. But you know, Central didn't know that. You know, the YNs when I was a YN, you know what I'm saying, they was smart. You know, they getting their pistols in there regardless. But other than that, Central was a good school. Central is a good school. You know what I'm saying? It's a good activity school. It used to be a regular school, but then they changed it into a magnet school. And then they had two. I don't know if they still got it. I think they do, but they had Cleveland and Central in the same school. So Cleveland school shut down and they brought them over to Central. Cleveland was I think it was Cleveland. This was 14 years ago. So let me know if I'm getting it wrong, but they was a ROTC school. So they had to wear uniforms. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to wear uniforms. We wore regular clothes. So it was a school. It was two schools in one. Half wore uniforms, went to ROTC, and the other half was Central, which we wore regular clothes. You know what I'm saying? So it basically was two schools in one. But yeah, I never thought that this would happen like this. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into the actual video of the shooting, which I really don't want to get into it, but this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, due to me being a former student, I just feel like I got a lot to say. You know, not a lot to say, but I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I want to, you know what I'm saying, say a couple of things. But this was me back in 2010 at Central Visual Performing Arts. Actually in the hallway where the shooter went to, the actual classroom. You know what I'm saying? Not the actual classroom, but the classroom he walked right past. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, this another one right here. Yeah, I was bad, man. Ooh, hats in school, all type of shit, man. I was bad, man. But anyway, yeah, you know, I'm an adult now, more mature. But anyway, yeah, man, so it's just tragic, man, that this happened at my high school, you know, my last school, you know, that I ever went to. You know what I'm saying? I didn't graduate from Central, but this was my last school that I went to. Me going there personally, I was just really immune to what was going on, so it really didn't affect me. Everything that was bad that was going on, it really didn't affect me. But the school was a great school to learn. The school was really, you know, involved in their students. They really wanted to teach. They really wanted to help the students make a way out. And that's that South Side too. South Side of St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? It go crazy over there. You know what I'm saying? So the school was a great school. You know, they had performing arts. You could act. We was having acting. They was having shows. You know what I'm saying? It was a great school, man. Don't get me wrong. I think we just took advantage of it due to us being YNs and young. You know, if I can go back 10 years now, I most definitely would have changed some things and actually learned more going to that school, because that was a really great school. So for this to happen is tragic. You know, like I said, I knew Miss Kuska. You know what I'm saying? She was my teacher from 2009 to 2010. You know, RIP to her. I didn't know the young lady. Obviously, the young lady was young. You know, so RIP to her too. And like I said, this is tragic, man. You know, so that's crazy, because I've been all through this school, all around that area. I know every ins and outs of this school, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to love Central when I was a kid. I ain't gonna fake it, you know. I used to love Central when I was a kid, man. So yeah, man. So look, man, we finna get into this other video. I really don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to, you know, talk my shit how I feel about this. Viewer description is advised. Warning: the following video contains graphic content that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer description advised. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So we finna go ahead and get into this reaction video, man, and let's do it. Okay, so I want to map out certain things. Okay. This is Arsenal. This street is called Arsenal. I used to live probably like 5 minutes down the street going this way. Not Arsenal, but this King's Highway. So this King's Highway in Arsenal, but this main street right here is Arsenal, and this street right here is King's Highway. So I used to live like on the right, like 5 minutes down from King's Highway. This was supposed to be a Walgreens right here. This was a Walgreens right here, and this right here, this area right here is where the school buses drop off the students at. Like this long right here area is where the school buses drop off the students at and come get the students. And this is where you walk through. And then, but you got the main entrance up here, but that's for like teachers and things like that, or people that come through in and out that door. And but this area right here, this is where like the students get off the school bus and go through checks, and you got the principal and all the teachers out here. It like I said, my time being going here was good. I had a lot of good memories at this school. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you'll go through here, and you'll go into school. You feel me? It's no sound, so bear with me. So I'm just gonna map it out. It's a lot, and then it was a lot of traffic too. So I really don't understand how I did not want to see him, you know, or realize it. But it'd be a busy day. People be minding their business. So this the entrance way. This the entrance way. You got your security guard right there. No students come through this door. No students come through this door. So that's a red flag right there. I used to be up and down, all up and down this hallway. It's crazy, man. This is a shooter right here. But this area was really never used. Like, I'm sorry if I keep pausing the video, but I'm just trying to, get y'all, understanding about this. But this area was never used. This basically was the front entrance of the school. This area was never used. Obviously, is still not used, but yeah. I don't see why they don't get security guards firearms, man. He just walking past like it's normal, and people don't even know what's going on for real. He on the walkie. I know he trying to let somebody know, like, hey, it's somebody in here. What they say? Back in time to approximately 9:08 a.m., subject has shot multiple rounds in the gym and is moving to the second floor. So this is 9:08 a.m. Obviously, don't nobody have PE early at that time. I remember them steps. I remember these steps. This the second floor. This the second floor, basically like where all the main stuff is.
Attention all cars, District 2, code 1, shots. Correction, code 2 shots fired. 3125 South Kings Highway at Central VA School. States there's an active shooter inside the gym, a black male, all black clothing. Shots fired in progress at 911.
He's just shooting for no reason. So he walking through the hallway. He basically walking through the main hall, like what a auditorium is and what a principal office is. Basically, that's that floor. The second floor of the school. Okay, so this the third floor. This area is the third floor. I used to be in this classroom right here. It's been so long. I think this was like, I forgot what subject that was. What was, we ain't get into all that. But yeah, I used to be in this classroom. I remember like it was yesterday. Well, I don't remember what class it was, but I remember I used to be in that classroom. He didn't fail. He should have busted his damn head. That's what he should have did. Knocked himself out. Honestly. This shit crazy, man. That's crazy. It's crazy. Messed up. He flicking off the cameras. I don't know who he waiting on. I think the police is being involved at this point. St. Louis Police Department. Oh yeah. It's only, how many is it? Oh, okay. They coming. Here they come. Oh yeah. See.
He's got a long weapon.
See. At this moment, I don't know if he knew or realized, but at this moment, you gotta know you fucked up. You gotta know you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what was going through his head or what was wrong with him, you know, but at this moment, he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Back up. Stand by. We're standing outside 309. Hit it! Hit that motherfucker! Knock him down! Stand by. Shots being fired. Let the long gun get in there! Let the long gun! Where are you? Eyes on! Stop! Back up! Sound like it's on the third floor. Upstairs. Is that what you said? You said third floor. 650 priority. Listen. Third floor of the rear school building. Third floor of the real school building is what a witness said outside. We heard the shots fired. They got an AR type right there. Hey, slow down. Let the long gun go. Is this third floor? Third floor. Let the long gun go. Hold this open. Hold this open. In the library. Suspect one. You got him? Is he alive still? Stay back. Stay back. Open it. Hold on. They're coming. Hold on.
It's locked. He's got a long weapon. So watch out. Back up.
I was also in that classroom too, back in 2010.
Stand by. We're standing outside 309. Hit it. Hit that motherfucker. Knock him down. Stand by. Shots being fired. Let the long gun get in there. Let the long gun. Stop. Back up. We have multiple officers here. Hey, watch that, dude. Watch that, back up. Shoot the lock, guy. Watch out. No. Back up, shotgun the lock. Shoot it. We have a lot of backup, keep everybody down.
Got some muscle on the sword, it'll open.
Watch out.
2, 3.
Easy. Shots fired. He's right here. He's right there. He got He's right here. He's right on the door. On the wall. Easy. That's a long rifle. Blue, that's a long rifle. That's a long rifle. Reload. Suspect down!
Should no kids have to experience this type of trauma going to school where they feel safe? Should no kids have to feel this type of trauma going to school where they feel safe? When you enter them buildings, that's where you feel safe. Them teachers and the principal and security guards are there to protect you from the outside. You know what I'm saying? So this is very unfortunate that happened. You know, R.I.P. to Miss Kuska. She was a wonderful woman. I'm glad to be one of her former students. R.I.P. to the young lady, you know. And I'm not even going I don't even want to, you know, not say nothing about the shooter, because people really need to check on their kids, bro. Need to check on your peoples. Really talk to your kids, really talk to your peoples, really see what's going on, because it could be stuff that's going on that you don't really know about. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the young man said that he was going through a lot. He was in isolation. He never had a female in his life. You know, he never had family. Like, man, check on y'all peoples. Check on y'all kids. Because it could be something seriously going on and you would not know, because they don't know how to talk to you about it or come to you about it. You know what I'm saying? This don't give him the right to do what he did. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the consequences have been served. You know, but check on your peoples. You know what I'm saying? Check on your peoples, man. You know what I'm saying? So, this is a tragic, unfortunate situation from my high school. And I hope that, you know, everybody that was affected by the situation is okay, is good. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, school is supposed to be somewhere you learn and you feel safe. You know what I'm saying? Central was a very good school. You know, I should have took advantage of it when I could, you know, of the learning and the listening and you know, everything, now that I am an adult to this day. But yeah, man, so I just want to say RIP to Miss Kuska, RIP to the young lady. And yeah. Let me know what y'all think about this video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, man, so y'all can know when I'm posting, man. It's your boy Montana. I'm out.